When you join any elite club, the membership fee is a fixed price. But in NATO, the world's largest military alliance, that is not how the system works. The invoice isn't a flat rate, it's pegged to the total wealth of your country, your gross domestic product, GDP. This is the famous 2% rule. Most people assume this percentage represents an equal share of sacrifice that allies put into a shared vault. Welcome to the Prince's Ledger. Today, we are examining how this 2% target is actually less of a military necessity and more of a flawless diplomatic lie and a mathematical illusion. Because in the balance sheets of states, the issue isn't how many tanks you produce, it's where you hide that expenditure in the ledger. The origins of this rule date back to the smoky days of the Cold War. After World War II, Europe was in ruins. To protect it against the Soviet threat, America opened a massive military umbrella. This system birthed the most bizarre economic treaty in history. European nations essentially subcontracted their defense costs to America. This allowed them to spend their own budgets on free healthcare systems, pension funds, and massive welfare states. Meanwhile, America paid the price for this security by building a colossal military-industrial complex and rapidly inflating its national debt. For decades, Europe surfed for free on a peace financed almost entirely by American taxpayers. That is, until the master of the system finally decided to put the bill on the table. But the true breaking point of the system is hidden in the absurd mathematics behind this 2% target. When the 2008 global financial crisis hit, the Greek economy literally collapsed. The country's GDP went into a freefall, and that year, something unbelievable happened at the NATO summit. Even though Greece hadn't bought a single new bullet, tank, or fighter jet for its army, simply because its economy shrank so drastically, it mathematically appeared to have hit NATO's 2% defense target. On the other hand, a massive economy like Germany, despite spending billions of euros on its military, remained at 1.5%. Because its economy grew so much, leaving it publicly accused of not contributing enough. This is the ruthless illusion of percentages. A bankrupt country can become the most loyal ally on paper, purely by accident. Today, hitting the 2% target doesn't just mean a nation has more soldiers or better weapons. This target practically means countries actively cutting education, infrastructure, and healthcare from their budgets to funnel tax dollars directly into the vaults of private defense contractors. This percentage is merely a metric of how wealth leaves public borders and shifts onto the private balance sheets of global arms manufacturers. Power is always financed by someone's debt. When you watch the news and hear politicians arguing over alliance contributions, never forget the cold math behind the curtain. To see the real mechanics governing states, alliances, and corporate power, and to uncover the absolute truth beyond the illusions, subscribe to the Prince's Ledger and like this video. Because politicians can play with percentages, but the ledger never lies.